Talking Football on WTNS with Steve Cores and Casey Claxon.
Welcome to Talkin' Football from WTNS. Casey Claxon back again with Coos. Steve Cores. Talkin' Football brought to you each and every week by Coshocton Regional Medical Center, your local healthcare team supporting local athletics. Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most. Week 8 of the high school football season. Coos, before we talk about this weekend's games, let's go back and review that Ridgewood win on Friday.
Well, you know, it was a game that Ridgewood, we kind of expected it might happen. They took control early, got the nice lead, and, you know, were able to get a lot of people in preparation for their monster weekend this week.
I know Coshocton also had a home game. We had that on 102.7 as well. A game for the Redskins. It was homecoming, but didn't turn out in their favor.
No, it did not, but they played well in the first half. They hung right in there. I think things got away from them a little bit, obviously, in the second half, but I think they took a lot of positives out of that as they prepared to go down to Crooksville.
Well, let's go ahead and pregame the contest with the Ceramics on the road this Friday.
All right, they go down to Crooksville, and Crooksville started out really well. They were 4-0 early. Now they've dropped 3 in a row. Last week did not play well, and it's a game that Coshocton's starting to get healthy, and it's a game I think that they feel like if they do what they need to do, they can stay right in this thing.
The Riverview Black Bears, they will be matching up against another tough opponent in John Glenn. They're in that big school division. They're kind of saddled on the big side, so another tough one for the Bears on Friday.
As I always call it, Murderer's Row. When you have to go Sheridan, Tri-Valley, John Glenn, that's tough duty for not just them, for anybody. And, you know, there'll be another tough matchup down there. But, you know, they got their first score last week, and, you know, that has to be exciting. And, you know, I sometimes just little things help preparation.
Our feature game coming up on Friday night will be the Ridgewood Generals on the road to Janaden Hutton, taking on the Indian Valley Braves. We will preview that game. Also have our question for Coos. That's coming up right after this message from Coshocton Regional Medical Center.
Don received the best care that I think he possibly could have. Don and I both really felt that they were part of our family and we were part of their family.
I feel like I'm seen, or my kids are seen, and they generally want to hear what's wrong and they want to help however they can.
I want to be able to support an organization that's giving back to the community, that's part of my community. If that's a hospital, Coshocton Hospital is going to be my choice.
Friday night at Indian Valley High School, it will be the undefeated Ridgewood Generals going up against the undefeated Indian Valley Braves. This is the game we've all been looking forward to.
It really is, and boy, I know the excitement level is high in both for both schools, and it's going to, I think, really an interesting matchup. You know, Grady Kinsey and Indian Valley, they're undefeated 6-0, and, you know, defending state champions. Ridgewood, they would love nothing better to go into their place and come out of there with a win. And, you know, the one thing that you'll hear them say the same thing, they can't put the ball on the ground, and they've got to get stops. And you know, and he is a tough stop. So I'm looking forward to see how this turns out.
Yeah, it's been a year since you've seen him play in person. It will be interesting to see how the Ridgewood defense matches up against such a powerful back.
He's a good one, no question. You know, he hasn't really up until last week against Garraway, which they won 40-12. He had a few more carries than he normally does. 388 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's tough duty.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. It'll be a good one coming up on Friday night. Chris and Coos will have the pregame show starting at 6:30, kickoff and play-by-play at 7 o'clock on FM 99.3 WTNS, and we will stream the game live on the WTNS YouTube channel. All right, before we move on to our question for Coos this week, it's going to be a golf-related question, but I thought we'd take a moment to, since we're going to ask a golf question, to talk a little bit about the success of the 2 local golf teams playing at the state tournament this weekend. Both the Riverview Black Bears as well as the Ridgewood Laney Generals both really enjoyed their time. That was cut a little bit short at the state tournament.
Yeah, no, that's great. You know, they were they ended up, the boys ended up finished third. Had made a nice little, at least a decent run early on the second day, but the weather was just as everybody well knows, just way too much rain, and they ended up having to cancel the last round. So it reverts back to what the standings were after that first day, and Riverview gets a third place finish. But hey, that's a young team, a lot of people back, and I'll tell you what, I know the excitement level in the golf arena is really high there. The Lady Generals get an 11th place finish, and I'll tell you what, that's the first time in history they've gone to go to the state and perform well in their own right. So, you know, I'm sure everybody's excited both places.
Yeah, so congratulations to both the Riverview Black Bears and the Ridgewood Lady Generals making it to the state tournament, and we congratulate both of those teams on all of their success. All right, let's go to our question now for Coos. So, Coos, as a golfer, like everybody has a great round of golf, and I was making me wonder whether or not you had ever hit a hole-in-one. You played a lot of golf in the past, but did you ever make a hole-in-one?
I did.
You did?
One. I did have one.
Oh.
Now I know this is going to be this is a story like anything else.
You always got a good story.
I was by myself.
Oh.
So automatically everybody says, okay, maybe yes, maybe no.
You were playing solo?
Playing solo. It was over at the Old Country Club here in Coshocton.
Okay.
And fortunately, I had Dave Shutt and his son Kyle. It was on the 9th green. It's a 9-hole course. They were standing waiting on me.
Yeah.
And from where it's a little bit lower than the green, when I hit it up there, you know, I didn't know. Nobody said anything, so I just walked up. I didn't see the ball. I thought, well, I probably hit it over into the rough somewhere. And Dave Shutt said to me, he said, hey, why don't you look in the hole? And there it was.
So you did have a witness.
So I did have a witness.
Oh, you okay? You were playing by yourself, but did have a witness. So, so Dave Shutt can attest that Coos definitely hit a hole-in-one. And you said that was number 9?
That was number 9.
All right, number 9 at the old
Country Club.
The old Coshocton Country Club. This is Talkin' Football, brought to you by Coshocton Regional Medical Center, your local healthcare team supporting local athletics. Coshocton Regional Medical Center, where care matters most.
Talking Football is a production of WTNS Sports and Claxon Communications.